If you have been watching a few of my recent recordings, I've talked about when I was abducted and I had to spend 12 weeks and 2 days without a phone. 12 weeks, 2 days without a phone. It happened this way, just briefly, because I don't want to repeat what was said in other videos. Is that my phone was very old. My iPhone was very old. Something that I inherited during a funeral. I've all the time been thinking that I had iPhone 6, but when they did what they did, they found out that it was iPhone 7. And they wanted to turn it against me and say that you have an iPhone which you don't know them. You see, these are kids, These are kids who were born in the 90s, mid-90s, if I can say. And their technology knowledge. During my time, okay, let me say this. The gap between me and them is very little, knowledge-wise. Compare me, a Form 6, 2 principals, 1 subsidiary, working with, when I was a constable, with senior sergeants who could not sign anything. They used to thumbprint things. I remember they used to even to write intelligence reports in Somali Swahili, bahali yake. So I would read that intelligence report, try to I had to do 3 things before I write that intelligence report. One thing, I had to read that the way they had written. 2, I had to interview the person, the senior sergeant. I would have to interview the senior sergeant to know what he meant. And thirdly, I would walk around Wajir town trying to, can I say, cook up the story. Because here is something that they've written, bahali yake. I have talked to him verbally. He has answered me, bahali yake. And I'm supposed to write an intelligence report in good English. Those days we used to be told, na hiyo kizungu mulisoma. Then I would write, have it typed, proofread it, and then call him to print it to show, because he could not. We used to respect those people, the elders who are not learned. But these people, now when they noticed that the iPhone was iPhone 7 and I was saying it was iPhone 6, they wanted to add another charge on me. I said no. This is something that I got during funerals, and it was before people, so hakuna shida hapo. And also then they decided not to put it in the OB. They also decided not to give me an inventory. And I was told, now you find that their bosses now at the regional headquarters are telling, you used to be a senior officer, you know these things, you do what, why didn't they? Bwana, you always thought that handicaps for other people. Then suddenly you are in handicaps. Then suddenly you are even asking the OCS rerouter to be told. But then the truth of the matter is nothing was written in the OB about my offense. It was only written. I have not seen it, but the way I see people reacting. You see, when I talk to you, I don't listen to what you're saying. I look at your body language. Your body language is usual. And that is what the lie detectors are meant for. Lie detectors are meant to observe your body reaction to questions, and they will say that you are lying. They are lie detectors, but they are not truth tellers. So they detect lies, but they cannot tell the truth. So my phone was taken. I've said that, and I stayed for 12 weeks, 2 days without a phone. And hey, let me tell you, life was hell. The only good thing about the missing phone and 12 days and whatever, there were relaxation. There are times, hey, I noticed something that I may never have noticed. Somebody can call you at 4 a.m. and the person start talking in a language you don't. Oh, pole, nimekupigia wrong number. And those are genuine wrong numbers. I'm talking of genuine. I'm not talking of crooks who decide to disturb. No, I'm talking of genuine. Somebody can ring at 4. Some of us sleep at 3 a.m. So somebody decides to call you at 4 when you've just started sleeping, and you realize that this is somebody who has made a genuine wrong number. And then your sleep can't come again very fast. So we discovered that after spending 41 hours, spending 41 and a half hours instead of 24, where they were looking left and right to see which charge to get on me. They were not even looking. My cousin had paid them. My cousin had paid them, and it was they are counting. And that is Jumaisi police station, Gigiri, where the femicide was. Anyway, in this episode, which I hope is the last one, I want to talk about life without a phone. I want to imagine that the time I had no telephone contact is 12 weeks and 2 days. It is 12 weeks and 2 weeks. I can confirm that. But even now, I am still having problems with the phone. Even after those, I can grade my iPhone into several classifications, which I'll count it for you. Classification number 1, I want to talk to you about life during the 12 weeks, 2 days without a phone. I'll talk about it. Actually, most of my today's shooting will be about the 12 weeks and 2 days without a phone. 2, I will talk about the present situation where my phone decides when to switch on and off. There are times I'm just with a phone. It doesn't work. Sometimes it works. It chooses when to work. It chooses when not to. If those who know my number, we may agree that at noon you call me and my phone can be working. Then 5 minutes to noon, it stops working. And maybe you are supposed to wait for me somewhere. So you call me, you want to tell me, nimefika. You get a message that the phone, the phone you are calling is out of reach. That is the message. When off, now when it has decided to be off, I get the following messages. I get a message that there is no SIM on the top left. On the top left where they write. By the way, I noticed something. When they took my phone, it used to write surf for you. Yeah, it used to be written surf for you. But nowadays, it is not written surf for you. It is written 50M plus 1 network, something like that. That is the change I discovered when I came back after 12 weeks. When they took it, it was surf for you. Now it is 50M subscribers plus 1 network, something like that. So that place where it is written that, when my phone decides not to, when it decides that it does not want to work, you find that it is written no SIM, NO, then SIM, no SIM. Or you find it is written no services, no service, no service. Or it is written invalid SIM. Or it can write iPhone not activated. iPhone not activated. Contact your network provider if this problem continues to occur. That is now when it has decided to give itself an off. Now, even when the phone is on, I have to put it on speakerphone. You see, the last time I used that phone, just normal. You see, like you're with somebody, he or she takes a phone, places it on there, starts talking. You only monitor, you only hear what he or she is listening, but you can never know who is the person on the other side. You never know what they are talking about. But when my iPhone decides to be on, I have to put it on speakerphone. If I don't put it on speakerphone, the person on the other end says he or she cannot hear me. But I can hear the person on the other end. If I don't put my iPhone on speakerphone, when it has decided to be on, I will hear you, but you'll not hear me. It is like, have you ever called somebody and that person keeps quiet to see if it is you or to see your there are those people who just annoy you there. Say hello, whatever, and the person, the other is just listening. I know because this cousin of mine, sister to Pepe Kale, okay, you can Google the picture of Pepe Kale. Professor Naman, sister to Professor Naman. I'm saying sister to those people because of the body weight. Gigiri police were laughing at that police driver saying, hey, kweli mnakimbilia pesa. Hiyo hata nikipewa, anyway, she's my relative, so I'm not supposed to talk about my relative on those, she's my sister. But anyway, just look for the picture of Pepe Kale and look for the picture of Professor Naman, and you'll see how, imagine having a sister of that type. So I was talking about speakerphone before the phone one. There are those people who could call me on Thursday. They'd call me on Thursday and Fridays and something like that. So there's another time they called me and I didn't even talk. I just picked the phone, kept quiet, listening to what they would say, and I would hear a lady on the other side telling, amechukua simu na haongei. She was trying to tell some. Those are the people that Pepe Kale's sister had hired. So imagine. So this is what I'm saying. When the phone was returned to me, I remember, if I don't put on the speakerphone, I will hear you, and then you'll think that I've decided not to listen to you. And when the speakerphone accepts communications, we can talk, but when it accepts to talk, about is it 60? No, okay, 66%, 2/3. We talk just normally. We just talk normally. The only difference is that I have to place you on speakerphone. Talking to you without placing it on speakerphone, we cannot communicate. Talking to you without talking on speakerphone, we cannot communicate. I have to place you on speakerphone. That is how it is. And even when you talk on speakerphone, 66%, of the time we communicate well. But 1/3, or is it 34%, I hear people on the other say that unakatika katika, unakatika katika. Of course, my case I was cleared. Of course, I was cleared. But even if I would have been guilty, why dismantle my iPhone? Even if I was guilty of whatever, why dismantle my case? But you see, this sister of Pepe Kale, this Pepe Kale sister, with her police driver lover in Gigiri command, this is an economic sabotage. And I think I formed an opinion that time. That in future, this thing about police officers placing you in the cells over the weekend so as to, they use that legal lacuna. I think in the future we should have a law where if it is proven beyond reasonable doubt that that is the case, then the state should sue that constable or that police officer for having. It is like you being my neighbor, and in a certain traditions, there's like my son-in-law or daughter-in-law, when they visit me, they are not supposed to sleep in this house. And if they are here for a weekend or something, I can organize with a neighbor. They go to sleep at a neighbor's place. So it is like that way. This person is using state lodgings to settle scores. I think in the future, the government should come up with a thing that if it is proven that way, then the police officer be surcharged. I wish Jumaisi had a phone. I wish I came across his phone. Because just telling a cousin not to sell land, my iPhone is dismantled and I go through hell even right now, as I've just said. But you see, that police station, is it called Gigiri or Ngiringiri? Because that is the place where you go there with ngiri, eh? Ngiri, unapeana mangiri tu, mambo yako inasikika. Ngiri, not Gigiri, but ngiri. Several thousands must have exchanged hands with these thugs for me to go through what I had at Gigiri. My greatest suffering during that time was to do with something that is called YT Studio. YT Studio, those with YouTube channel will tell you that it is used to monitor several things. YT Studio means YouTube Studio. The YT Studio that tells you, the channel owner, how each shoot and all shoots are performing. For example, this is what I usually do. There are some messages I feel I should pass to the younger generation. There are some messages I feel I should pass to the younger generation. But you find those historical things, they do not sell as good as, okay, talking of the latest abduction or something. So what I do is I mix the two. If I have 3 or 4 academic things, and I just wait, when I have one, I upload one academic, and then I upload one abduction. You find that I place there the educational thing for younger generation to learn things at whatever. But you see, the viewership is very low. But when you talk of abduction, this is what must have happened in the case of Nani being abducted, you find that it is watched more than 20 times than the academic one. So I usually narusha hii so that they balance. Now, without a YouTube studio, I do not know how each video is recording. I don't know how each video is recorded. Don't forget that the mental situation. You see, you are, and this Pepe Kale sister had really wanted to economically dismantle me. Had to economically dismantle me. I'm back still with the OCS, with the rerouter. When the YouTube channel came, I went to her office and told her, nyinyi mnanisaidiaga sana. Sasa saizi niko financially stable. A few months later, Madam OCS rerouter turns against me, becomes part of the economic saboteur. And you know, economic saboteur in some countries, you get shot. Madam OCS rerouter is supposed to be shot and killed by a firing squad because of economic saboteur. How can you take somebody who is earning, who has a steady, and you dismantle his business? You have seen people for kiosks. The people for kiosk, if Kanjo comes and dismantles the kiosk, they say, tutaanzia wapi? So as I said that YT or YouTube studio, it shows me how each shoot and all shoots are performing. That is one. Two, the monthly incomes. The monthly incomes. They usually tell me in the last month you have earned so. They tell me three things. It tells the YT studio tells me three things. It tells me what each and every video is recording. As I said, I know which video is educational and it is not earning, and which one is I'm playing to the gallery so that I get money. It has to tell you that. But you see, even with that, these people, the way they had disturbed me mentally, is all the time going to Giringiri police station. First of all, that you are mentally, you don't even have time to form stories. But as I said, there is that graph in the YT. Those with the channels will tell you where you are told how you have no idea of the graph. You don't know whether you are earning average. You don't know whether you are earning below average. You don't know. There are those times when you're earning below average, yeah? 75% of the average. You start scratching your head. How do I raise that? So, as I said, you cannot. Number two, I said you cannot monitor monthly earning. Then on 20th of every month, you have to prepare a monthly payslip. You have to prepare a monthly payslip. If I would have known that they would have taken my iPhone, whatever, that night I would have just gone to see the OCS without a phone. And then they took it. So for 2 months, how do you prepare? When you are supposed to be sent a link. Yes, they sent you a link. Now, how to transfer that link from that phone to any other place? Remember, those people are not in Kenya. The YouTube people are not in Kenya. Any other attempt or whatever may lead them to think that somebody is hacking your phone. And then when they call your phone, they find it is switched off. As I said, pay comes around 20th of every month. So, when they took my phone for 12 weeks, 12 weeks, that is almost 3 months. It means that on 20th April and 20th May, I could not prepare myself. I had no access to YT studio. Supposing, of course, I was proven innocent because in the first place, Pepe Kale's sister found that Giringiri police station is the best place to deal with that people. After all, if Jumaisi could escape and her boyfriend is working in that command, she felt that was the best place to go under. She felt that was the best place to go there. So the thing was just economic sabotage. When it arrived on 20th, I'm talking to people with the YouTube channel. They'll tell you that every 20th of every month you get, they sent you a link. They sent you a link about what you earned between 20th, what you earned for that month, which I assume is from 20th to 20th. Now, I did not get my link for 20th April. I did not get my link for 20th May. Even if I was guilty, even if I would have killed somebody, does anybody? We have people in jail today. Today's jail, you can be in jail and you write a book, and still the royalties will go there. They will follow you there, or you'll tell them how the money has to be kept, or how the people you left. But an innocent person, a person who up to now I was not even taken to court. But even if you are taken to court 1,000 times, what counts is the number of conviction. Like now, Sister Tupepe Kale is a convicted criminal. Unless she appeals, she has been convicted of contempt of court. I want to give an example. It's just like when you earn your money through an ATM, isn't it? And maybe that is a super ATM. I'm assuming it's a super ATM, something like that, so that you have to use just that one ATM. Okay, it is even like an ATM, because once you have no access to your ATM, there is no way you can withdraw money, isn't it? So if I take your ATM and you want to earn between it reaches April 20th of April, you can't earn. 20th of May, you can't earn, because I have your ATM. The second thing that I noticed most was time. The second thing that I noticed was time. Before the advent of mobile phones, I was a constant wristwatch wearer. Everybody who knows me before, everybody had mobile phones. I used to have what do you call? I used to have a wristwatch. Now, when I used to have a wristwatch, the phone made me not to have a wristwatch. Now, without a wristwatch, I found I was having problems with knowing time and so on. After some days, I bought a kabambe and activated an Airtel number. I remember the day I bought the kabambe was on a Monday. It was on a Monday after having my police bail reviewed until Friday. After my police bail had been reviewed up to Friday, I entered the matatu at Gigiri. I think it was around somewhere the Canadian embassy. We were going to town, and somewhere around the Canadian embassy, I told the girl ahead of me in the matatu to check the time. What time is it? She checked. She checked for the time. Immediately she told me the time. I remembered my kabambe, and I felt like informing my home people that I had cleared with the daily bond, and I was on my. Then I stopped. Supposing I would have taken the phone out, okay, even supposing somebody would have called me, you see, what would that girl have thought? I have asked her to check on her phone to see the time. I had told her to check on the phone to see the time, to see if, to tell me what time it was. Supposing somebody would have called me and I taken out the phone, or supposing I would have called home and said, I've cleared with those people, I'm on my way. What would the girl have thought? Have thought, hey, what is this Mzee doing? Or he wanted to steal a phone, or wanted to know what type of phone it is. Just because I had spent a few weeks without phone, so I was used to asking people, what time is it? Now that I have a kabambe in my pocket, I'm asking that. And again, you can see the psychological effect. You're used to walking around with an iPhone. Now you're walking around with a kabambe. Another day, I was in my house browsing. Then there was a blackout. I waited for long. The blackout was not coming back. So I left to go to Naivas supermarket. Use the free Wi-Fi. You see, you sit somewhere there, switch it on. They know me, so I can even go to the security officer's place and start and even leave there my items there to start uploading. As outside my house, I met a neighbor. I informed her that I was going to use a friend's Wi-Fi. I came back after clearing with what I had uploaded on my YouTube. I met the same neighbor before entering my house. Just as I was about to enter my house, I met her. Then she asked me, Kwani, your family did not flash you to tell you that the power was back less than 10 minutes after you left? You see, if I had had a phone that time, instead of going to Naivas for the free Wi-Fi, as I left, my family would have flashed me to say, Stima imerudi. But they could not flash me because they knew I had no phone. And here is a neighbor telling me that, you see, a neighbor telling me that, you see, you left within 10 minutes, it was back. I was forced to cheat. That due to the long blackout, my phone had lost all the power. The other thing, I cook with various things. I've learned to have everything. I have two charcoal burners, jiko. One is for flashy. When you want to warm something, it looks so beautiful that it needs only a few charcoals to warm up what you want, and it's like a smaller. And then there is the other one, big one, which when we want to cook together, we use that one. Those are two charcoal. We have an electric cooker. We have what do you call this total meko, and then we have this cocoa. You see, cocoa is calibrated. There is no way you can fuel your cocoa without using your phone. So for 12 weeks, I never used my cocoa. I was denied my constitutional right. Suppose suppose I wanted to use cocoa to or even leave alone that. There are occasions I've found, a few occasions where you have to cook very many things together. Maji ya kuosha vyombo, maji ya kuoga, maji ya kupika. I mean, it is your house, it is your money. You may decide to use 3 or 4 cookers on. Now, if you have a total meko, you have to decide what to start with and what to do next. But if you have several of them, this one cooks this one this. Of all my things, I was denied the ability to fuel my cocoa. Those of you who have cocoa know that. Nowadays, for you to enter any place for security purposes, they have come up with a security detail where they used to know that people would steal people's ID, they would do whatever. So as an extra security measure nowadays, you enter any office, you are asked to say they don't even ask you your ID. They say, give us your telephone number. You give them the telephone number, an SMS comes, which gives you the authority to enter that office. So it means that it is that SMS that you show them that they allow you to enter that building. So I could not enter any government building. I could not enter. I'm a regular visitor to media houses. Ask Gatete Njoroge, we have met. Ask Haemba, we have met. Ask Kina Gordon who of the Star newspaper. Yeah, So I've talked of Star newspaper. I've talked of Khaemba of NTV. I have featured in KTN on JM Karaoke's death. I have these people. There are times I even just go and visit them. There are times I even go and visit them. You cannot enter there, even if you have a passport and a driving license and a ID. They tell you what is your telephone number. Then you give the telephone number, an SMS comes. It is the SMS that you give. That is an extra. So I was denied that. I also love traveling by train. I love traveling by train, evening train. There is no fare hike. You know, if you go to, if you are visiting somebody at in the evening or early in the morning, you don't decide the fare. It is them to decide the fare. But trains, the fare, they don't hike the train. There is no traffic jam, because you can come with the vehicle and reach somewhere, Kenya National Library, and there is a jam there. But in Kenya Railways Corporation, the only payment is by M-Pesa. How do I pay? When my phone is away for 12 weeks and 2 days, there was no rail travel for me. Ngiringiri, yeah, they are called Ngiringiri because ukienda huko ni kupeana mangiri. Somebody is telling me that it is Gigiri. No, Giringiri is is a place where you just go with the Ngiri. So even if I was guilty or something, because Sister Pepe Kale had a right to go to court. She had a right to go to court, just like the other people had a right to go to court, and she was convicted. You know, a convict is a convict, whether you have one charge or 1,000 charges. So far, I've not been convicted. Not only I've not been convicted, I've never even appeared in court as an accused person. In this case, I was not even meant to go to court. Ngiringiri had worked. If you, if you can remember, these guys jumped on me like magas near National Archives. The way they took my phone, they jumped at me like magas at National Archives. I was used to settling my things via M-Pesa. I was used to settling my things through M-Pesa. Right now, I'm not even buying things through M-Pesa, because as you enter the supermarket, before you reach the counter, as I said, my phone can start reading no service, no service. And you know, in a supermarket, there is CCTV. So you start fumbling your phone, you see a security officer coming, kuna nini mzee? At the supermarket, I could not increase my loyalty points. Yeah, you see, if you go to supermarkets, my favorite is Naivas. I don't know kama watanilipa for advertisement. You buy things and then it reaches a time when you just go to the supermarket and buy things, not to cash, you use your loyalty points. When you use your loyalty points, I could not increase them. I could not use them. And you see, that time I said, because of confusion, because of going to Giringiri twice a week, because of going to Giringiri twice a week, Monday and Friday, and the confusion, I was so broke that I would have even wished to buy things from Naivas supermarket using my loyalty points. I couldn't, because I could not open the phone. Many of my things routinely change things, are timed by an alarm. In many of my things, I just do, many of my routine things, I do them through an alarm. The phone rings, and when I look at it, it tells me it is time for you to do this and this. During that time, for example, it would ring and tell me it is time for you to listen to Roga Roga, to watch Roga Roga. It is the time for you to watch Bridge Over Congo. It is time for you to listen to Zilizopendwa and Raba Raba. There are times you find I just sleep. By the time I wake up, the program is almost over. So I'm so used to being controlled by the alarm, which tells me it is time for this, it's time for that. I I had that problem. Okay, there are some of the problems like alarm and whatever. They are back to normal, but I used to find that, and waking up, especially with the kids back in campus, and either their mother is away on duty, I have to wake up, put on the TV, so that when I'm using the, what do you call, when I'm using the remote is when it tells me what time it is. And again, once or twice when I want to buy tokens and my family is not there, before they returned my dismantled phone, I would find that there's even a time when I had to go to a neighbor, tell her that there's the same neighbor. There's a time I had to go to the neighbor and say, can you buy me tokens on this number using your phone? And I had to give her the money. Okay, here is 300. Buy tokens for my line in this line. And then she bought the token for me. Then she gave me the number for the token to do that. That is what I was going through. Bandeko. You know, we people of Central Africa, we say Bandeko. But what annoyed me most was whenever I begged the 10, whenever I used to beg the intelligence officer for the phone, please assist me with the phone because of ABCD. I like the time I told him about going to a neighbor to whatever, and he would rudely tell me, why don't you tell them that you don't have a phone and the DCI is investigating you? I wish I meet him and tell him now to repeat the same thing. Because in Nairobi, anybody who has even been to a police station is treated as anybody who has spent 20 years in the committee and has come out. Right now, no neighbor knows what I've gone through up to this time. And just a knowledge, like Madam wanted me to take a Boda Boda fellow there. The whole place, the whole street, everybody would be saying, you see so and so, the way he was given a VIP, nini. And he was telling me, why don't you tell them that? But I have to tell you that he used to tell me, Suwambie, DCI inakuchunguza. See how? There's a song that was there in 1988 to 90, which was saying money talk. Money talk, yeah. Money was talking. You know, he was to tell me that because he had to follow his temporary boss's instruction, which was to harass me, which was to whatever. Ndio nijue. Many agents, if they have a reason to believe that you are being investigated, they would give you a written notice to vacate. They would just give you a written notice to vacate. So, viewers, those are the ways I went through. I went through the 12 weeks, 2 days without a phone. It was a very embarrassing thing. And anybody going to rerouter, by the way, how much is, let me see. I have to go to those border people and ask them, how much can you charge me from here to rerouter police station? Then I think I have to send, or I can even take myself there. I can take myself to rerouter police station. After a border has told me, from here to rerouter police station, you are supposed to pay so much. I have to go to Madam OCS and tell her, From where I am to Riruta police station, piki piki is so much.